How's it going? How's it going? It's a Saturday morning, it's 8:30. We're speaking entrepreneurship and entrepreneur's mindset on this channel. My name is Mavimbela, as you already know. And if you are new to the channel, well, that's what we talk about on this channel. Do like and subscribe to this video. It helps the channel to grow. Let's get into today's topic. So the topic of today is that South Africa is a very rich country. Now, obviously, when I talk about the fact that South Africa is a very rich country, it's because I am from South Africa and the majority of my viewers are South Africans. And a lot of people that are wanting to start businesses, they start businesses in the mindset of asking themselves if it's worth starting a business in South Africa, if it is something that they should actually follow and actually be passionate about and put 100% of themselves into running a business or starting a business. And in today's video, basically, I just want to share with you the fact that South Africa is a very rich country, so it is possible for you to start your business in this country and grow your business. I have some pointers, and I'm going to announce this maybe until the 6th video, that when I look to my right, I'm looking at the computer screen for the topics that I have prepared. Now, South Africa is a rich country, and we have the infrastructure. And by the infrastructure, I mean that we are able to produce goods and we are able to export goods. South Africa has so much of an infrastructure that multinational businesses have invested in South Africa and they are manufacturing their products in this country and exporting to other countries that have their customer base. For example, Ford. The Ford Ranger is manufactured in South Africa and is an export. The Amarok, VW Amarok, is also manufactured here in South Africa and is an export. BMW also have some cars that are manufactured in South Africa. But those are big businesses, obviously. So most of the people that are watching on this channel, they're not running super big businesses. And also, I believe that you may not have very high capital, okay? So you listening to me talking about businesses like Ford, VW, and BMW, and you think, well, those businesses are too big. It's far-fetched for me to compare myself to those. But what I'm just saying is that we do have the infrastructure in this country. For example, myself, I am starting a business in the FMCG products, and I am running a business in the detergent space, home detergent space. The first product I've made is spoon washing powder, as I've mentioned in other videos. You can purchase that if you want to support the channel. But I'm starting such a business which is not fancy, it's nothing glamorous about it. And in fact, it is mostly boring, but it is in the manufacturing space. And I'm confident to start a business in the manufacturing space because I understand that most of the wealthy people here in South Africa and in Africa mainly are in the manufacturing space. And if most of the wealthy people here in South Africa are in the manufacturing space, let's not talk mining. This is another sector, right? Which is also proof to the infrastructure that we've got in South Africa. A lot of wealthy people in the country are in the manufacturing space. Obviously, I'm at almost at the last line of the whole supply chain in manufacturing. But as things grow, as time goes, obviously everything will go from the beginning of the supply chain and keep growing from there, as obviously I afford more equipment, afford more space, and afford to pay people so that we can do more work and push out more product, and the business is growing. And you should also be confident in yourself if you are starting something like that yourself. We've got companies like Drip here in South Africa. We've got companies like Batu, and there's many people who will say, look, Batu gets their shoes manufactured and printed outside of South Africa. Could be China, could be Vietnam. I actually don't really know, but it doesn't really matter because here's what matters most. When they bring the products here to South Africa and sell them to South Africans, the businesses are growing and they are profitable. By the looks of things, okay? They are not public companies. They're not listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange or the Stock Exchange internationally. But according to the owners, the businesses are profitable. And they are also at the last line of the supply chain, which is distribution, which is also similar to what I do. Although the blend is a blend of my own brand, of my own company, I am at the very last stage of the supply chain because I have another factory that does this for me, and then I do all the packaging and the distribution. So you can't be judging companies like Drip, Batu, Vaya, who are building themselves here in South Africa and manufacturing outside of South Africa. The infrastructure is coming and it is growing here in South Africa as well, okay? if you look at the textile space in South Africa, and also Lesotho, obviously, because Lesotho is, I could say, is part of South Africa, albeit is a country within South Africa. It has the textile, it used to be one of the biggest textile hubs here in South Africa, I believe, and we can get that back. We can get that back, and South Africa can also be one of those, right? So we have the infrastructure that proves that South Africa is a rich country, but beyond having the infrastructure, there's more. We have the talent. We have the talent to grow the economy of the country. We have the talent. Like, this is non-negotiable. I don't care what you want to say. South Africans are very talented people. I don't care what you want to say about South Africans. I don't care what I say about South Africans. Like, I've said that South Africans are not lazy. They're just prideful. But put their pride aside, put that stupid belief that South Africans are lazy. You will know that South Africans are very talented people. There's people with talents here, naturally gifted talents. And when it comes to talent, unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are skilled. So, although we have the skill in South Africa, man, this phone doesn't look too straight, man. Give me 1 second. Just hold on. Okay. Yeah, looks better. South Africa has the talent, but we do not have the skills. Because, let me put it this way. Say you are a talented soccer player. You are from a township, and when you play soccer in the streets with your friends from the time you are still in primary, everybody can tell that, man, this kid just has a gift in soccer. This kid is good. He's a good soccer player, and he's not trained. And as you grow going into high school or secondary school, and you continue playing soccer, more and more people are aware that in our township there's a kid called whomever, Mapensela, and he's really good in soccer, but he's not yet trained. You're not at a scale where we could say that you are a professional soccer player. Because if we were to take you from the township soccer field into a professional soccer field, and you are playing in a team like Orlando Pirates, or Kaizer Chiefs, or Sundowns, and you have to play against other professional soccer players who've been training, you will quickly realize that although I am talented, these people are skilled. And if you take yourself from a South African team and you go maybe to Real Madrid or you go play for Chelsea, you'll realize that there's also another level of skill as a soccer player. Although you are naturally talented and you are very gifted, doesn't necessarily mean that you are professional. So this is what I'm saying about the talent in South Africa. We've got a lot of talent, but not enough skills. There's many people that are talented in multiple facets, in multiple industries here in the country. There's people who are smart, gifted in numbers. They can do mathematics in their head. You may remember a video of a kid who used to trend about 6 months or more ago, where they would ask him mathematical equations and he would just calculate everything in his mind. That is a very talented kid. He is not yet trained, because what he would do mostly is additions. But as he harnesses the skill, as he is trained through varsity, for example, he becomes a mathematician, he becomes a statistician. Statisticians, oh my goodness. Sometimes I can't say words that are quite simple to me, and it's confusing. This kid might become someone who is great at doing calculations in any industry, whether it be marketing, distribution, whether it be insurance, whether it be accounting, astronomy. It doesn't matter. He is gifted. And what needs to happen is for him to be educated enough to have the skills to use the gift that he has in order to benefit himself, his family, and the country. So that's the thing that we have in this country. We've got talent, too much talent, but not enough skill. I also could say that I am a talented person. This, I will say, in talking to people and talking to the camera, like there's nobody in the studio right now, there's a phone, but as I'm talking to it, I'm aware that I am talking to 10 people. I'm saying 10 to 50 people because that's the average of my channel. Sometimes I do reach more people than that, but I'm speaking to 10 people, and I'm aware that this 10 people will one day become 1,000 people. And it takes not only the talent of me being able to take my thoughts, word them out, and say them to you. It takes a skill, because I sometimes also look at some of the YouTube videos I used to do 3 years ago on another channel that I have them private right now because they kind of embarrass me. But when I look at those videos and I look at the videos that I've been doing recently, the skill has been getting better and better. And the confidence for me to do a podcast form all by myself is now a result of me being more confident in my ability, being more confident in my skill. I know I have the talent, but now it is a skill. And I know that I'm getting better and better and communicating my ideas and my thoughts. I am not yet perfect or at a level that I think I should be or where I want to be, but I am getting there. And the skill that I have to communicate over YouTube, I want to take that into my personal life as well. And I am learning as time goes. This is a skill. This is a skill. Same as me being able to listen to people that I look up to. Same as you are able to listen to people that you look up to and learn as much as you can from listening to these people. The fact that you can listen to them, take what you heard from them saying and use it for your own benefit, that is also a skill. This is where they say listening is a skill. It's not just about hearing. It's about hearing, understanding, and applying what you are being told. So I also have grown the skill of listening. You also have, especially if you watch YouTube channels like mine. We are not here trying to talk about how to get rich by next year, by next month. We're talking 10, 15 years. I'm not telling you how to make quick money. I'm not talking drop shipping and all that stuff. Like, although I do believe in e-commerce growth, I'm not going to tell you to be a drop shipper, because in my personal experience and research, it's not so much of a lucrative business unless I am the teacher of people, but not an actual dropshipper. But I digress. So yes, we have the talent and we just don't have enough skills. And part of the reason we don't have enough skills is because the education in our country is either outdated or mismanaged. So let me first look at the outdated part before I look at the mismanaged part, so you can understand where I'm coming from with this. The education system of the country is outdated in the sense that when you look at the skills gap in the country, the amount of skills and the kinds of skills that are required in this country to create employment, to grow the infrastructure of the country and improve on the economy. There's a lot of people going to college and varsity studying for things that don't align with the gaps that we have in the country. So if, let's say, we have a big gap in engineers in the country, which is the actual truth. We have a big gap in engineers in the country, albeit there's many engineers. Why is it then we've got so many psychology students? We have so many HR students, so many management-related students in any industry. It could be logistic, it could be HR. Like logistics maybe has a benefit because of where things are going globally. But why do we have so many HR managers when there's not enough companies to hire those HR people? Why do so many varsities admit people into those kinds of curriculums or those kinds of fields, knowing very well that there are more than enough people educated in those fields and very little opportunities for employment for those skills or that education that they are getting, that formal education that they are getting? And mind you, I'm saying formal education because if you are well experienced in the world, you will know that there are more kinds of education outside of formal education. Some people work for companies that are run by people that just have experience. That is a form of education. You are getting experience through doing the work, right? But I digress again. Let me get back to the topic. It is outdated for that reason. There's gaps, there's talent and the skill gaps that we have in the country are misaligned when you look at the education. And I believe that it is misaligned and outdated because it's mismanaged. And it is mismanaged by people way, way, way smarter than me. Way, way, way more experienced than me, who know more things than me. But here I am considering myself a simpleton, and I can see the mismanagement that they are doing. Let's, for example, look at NSFAS, which is an agency in the country that helps children and students from less privileged homes get educated by paying for their education. When they fund people, they're not funding you based on what you are studying for. They just fund you based on the fact that you qualify to get funding. And here's the reason I think that is a problem, because you'll find a kid who just finished doing matric. They don't really know what they want to do with their life and their career going forward, going from that point that they are at. And they, let's say, wanted to do engineering and they didn't know the avenues, because access to information, although it's so abundant, getting access to proper information is difficult because it's a thing that you have to do yourself. You have to do the right research. And doing the right research, again, is another skill. So children don't have the right skills to doing research. And they find that, at UJ or at UCT or is it VUT? I don't know, Pretoria. I didn't do college. Oh man, I'm exposing myself. They, for example, found out that, so-and-so campus is admitting and accepting as many students as possible for the psychology curriculum. Maybe because that school makes a lot more money through government or through banks when you go study that particular course, when you go study that particular major or in that particular field. And let's say you don't have the money, you apply for NSFAS. NSFAS will just look at the fact that, you're from an underprivileged family and you qualify to get funding because you can't pay your own fees. We're going to give you the money, go study, my child. My child goes to study, they finish, they get a degree, they get a diploma, degree, honors, master's, PhD, whatever. When they are done with that, they look for jobs in the particular field that they studied for. And there's no jobs in the country. And then this is where we have this, what do they call it? Brain death or brain wave or whatever, where people leave the country seeking for opportunities outside of the country. Although many people who come from underprivileged families actually can't afford to do that, right? So they are forced to stay in the country and be unemployed. Sometimes there's this pride that I've spoken about in the previous video, this pride that comes with them being educated in that particular field, and they tell themselves that I only want a job in this particular field that I studied for, unaware that there are no jobs for that particular field that they studied for. Because it was mismanaged by the government and by the varsities themselves. They are teaching you things that you don't actually need in order for you to start building a career. How many people do you personally know that have studied a particular course or in a particular field and they're not working in that field or they are unemployed? I personally know too many. And if 10 of us were to sit down and count in one hand or in two hands, we'd find that we know that many people that have studied for something that they don't work in, or they are unemployed because they're looking for jobs in something that they studied for. So it is mismanaged. It is also outdated for that reason. If the country requires certain skills and people are not getting educated in those kinds of skills, then we have a problem here. We have a problem. There's a thing that is happening here in Gauteng by Panyaza Lusufi where they are giving people jobs. And I had on, I think it was on McGee podcast or something like that, where they mentioned the fact that they were looking to hire 10 or 40,000 people. Please correct me in the comments. 10 or 40,000 people were being hired for certain roles, and about 1 million or over 1 million applied for those jobs. Can you imagine? There's 40,000 open posts and 1 million people apply. We got a huge problem. We've got a huge, huge problem. And it seems that that pride is also going very low because a lot of the people that applied for those jobs were applying for the low-skilled jobs like cleaning. So we have people that have finished matric that are not educated through varsity or college. You have people that are educated through varsity or college and they are willing to go become cleaners. This is a talent that has knowledge. probably not very skilled, especially if you did varsity, but you have the knowledge for yourself to get skilled. Excuse me. And these people don't have jobs. They are willing to become cleaners now. And that's how bad things have become. That's how prevalent unemployment is in our country. It is a problem. And the topic is still that South Africa is very rich. Don't digress in your mind like I digressed in the video. South Africa is very rich, and many people whom are citizens in the country are getting wealthier by the day. And many foreigners are coming here to get wealthy in the country because the country is that rich. Oh man, the sirens. What do I do? Wait or continue? I hope that wasn't too loud for y'all. Next thing, there's a helicopter passing. Like just before I recorded, this is the second recording, there was a helicopter passing. But hey, anyway, guys, support my business, support my YouTube channel. Buy Schoon washing powder. If you see it in a tuck shop near you, buy it. I would appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel, it's quite affordable, but it will be more expensive if you buy it online because it has to be delivered. It has to be couriered to you. So for that reason, unfortunately, it would be quite unaffordable. Damn. But anyway, you can also support the channel by liking and sharing the video. Subscribe if you are new. Because I see a lot of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. And a lot of people that get to these minutes after watching my content, they also not subscribed. Some subscribe, some don't. But if you're one of those that didn't subscribe, just look there at the bottom right corner. Are you subscribed? South Africa is a very rich country. We have many people getting wealthy in the country, citizens and non-citizens. And by non-citizens, I mean people from other African countries, Europe, Asia, America, Australia. Because the country is that rich. There's too much wealth to be built in this country. And as an entrepreneur, it is my responsibility to ensure that I can live comfortably through my own skills and my own hustle. And it is my responsibility to also help my family members. Obviously, those that do want to get helped and work within the business and help me grow the business, it is my responsibility to ensure that the people that I care about can also take care of themselves through my businesses. If you're an entrepreneur, it is also your responsibility to do the same thing. But understand that when you start your business, you're not starting your business to create employment. Fuck that bullshit. You are lying to yourself and to your potential funders mostly if you want to get funding. You know that you don't want to create employment. You know that the honest fact of you starting your business is that you want to make money. So start your business with the idea or the approach that you want to make money. And you will make money in this country because the country is quite rich, wealthy, very wealthy. There are multi-billionaires in pounds, dollars, and Canadian dollars and euros outside and inside of South Africa that have made a bulk of their money in South Africa, whether they live here or not. And the pie is so huge that if you get 0.00001 of that pie, you will also be rich. This is how I look at it. I just want 0.00001. And I know I'll be good. I'll be good. Obviously, provided that our political leaders just don't keep on messing up the country. And obviously, there are other good things that they do. We tend to focus, and myself especially, I also tend to focus on the negatives, but there are some positives. It's just that the negatives outweigh the positives that much. But the country is quite rich, guys. I'm done with this video. I'll see you in the next one. Like and subscribe. I'm leaving details in the comment if you want to support the channel. Peace.